Hey guys, it's Star. Excuse the way I sound. I have a bit of a cold right now. Um, so the other day I had to put my dog Simon to sleep. He was 9 years old. He was a Corgi Jack Russell mix. Um, he just started seizing out of nowhere, and I think it was Tuesday. He just kept having them until suddenly they became back to back. They think he had like a glucose tumor, which was really affecting him. Um, I decided to put him to sleep because at one point he had 5 of them back to back. I gave him a whole day. I know that sounds maybe a little weird or cruel, but I gave him a whole day. They gave us Nutrical to give, which is this paste. His sugar had dropped to 24. The first time that I had to take him to the clinic after his first seizure. And they gave me that stuff because his sugar was 24. Apparently for dogs it has to be like in the hundreds for it to be okay, and his dropped all the way to 24. They were giving me paste. I was putting it on his gums and his teeth. I mean, we emptied the whole tube trying to give it to him, and it did not help. As soon as I brought him home from the visit, after they had given him seizure medication and stuff, he had a seizure. Like, maybe an hour or two after we'd gotten home. And then for that whole day and night, he had a total of 18 seizures. That was the hardest thing I've ever had to witness. His poor little body shaking, and he was so exhausted after that seizure. And I gave him the best chance I could. I just smeared that stuff. When we took him back to the clinic, they gave him seizure medicine because they thought that would help. He still had 3 seizures. Apart from the 18 that he had 3 at the clinic. And I couldn't bear for him to suffer anymore. He was not going to get better. He had a tumor. They believe he had a tumor so small they could not detect it when they did an ultrasound on him. And I mean, they were giving him seizure medicine and they were giving him glucose, and it did not help at all. The highest that they could get it was 58. So I made the very hard decision to put him to sleep because I could not stand to see him suffer. I might get judged for that, but I don't care. I made the best decision for him. If it was so hard to see him seizing, sometimes I would have to move his head so he wouldn't hit his little head. He'd foam at the mouth every time. He was so tired. Sometimes he just would lie there because, I mean, it took everything out of him when he seized. He had always been a very healthy, robust dog. And on the 17th, his first seizure, it just hit him out of nowhere. He was sitting on that tub right here. I can't really angle it. Right here. He was sitting right there. And it's like he felt it coming on. He tried to get off the tub and he just flopped forward. And then he seized. And it was so hard because he'd never, ever in the 8 years that I had him, had he had a seizure ever. I will miss him because he was a good dog. He was very energetic and very sweet, loved me, loved my in-laws, and he was just a really good dog. He was stubborn sometimes. He had a little girlfriend, Rosie, which she's still around, and fortunately, since I have cats, she hasn't gotten depressed, which I was worried about that since all she's ever known is Simon. But it was just his time, and I could not, for the life of me, put him through any more pain. I mean, I could have kept him alive a couple more days to make sure that what he had was that tumor, but he would not stop seizing. So I put him to sleep, and he is free of pain now. And I do not regret that decision, because watching him seize, and I know I'm repeating myself, but watching him seize is one of the worst things that I have ever experienced in my life, because you feel helpless. You cannot help them when they are seizing. All you can do is be there and maybe keep them from hurting themselves, and that is it. So, to my Simon, I will miss you forever, but I'm glad you're free of pain. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.